Hello everyone, welcome back to another Show Your Wife 122. This is kind of part two of the previous video, obviously, where we talked about 9 things that you should not do to make money. That being said, those 9 things are kind of translated and correlated to this video into 9 things that you can do to make the money. And so if you remember, I'm going to go in order. So 1 through 9 from the last video. So we talked about don't just willy-nilly build something and have somebody living in it. So in this case, you can see behind me, we're building something. This is all built to code with permits. They talk about plumbing and insulation and framing, how to run electricity correctly, fireproofing things, fireproofing walls. Also, there's going to be fire escape windows, stuff like that. So if you're going to do it the right way so that you can protect life and protect safety of other people. Also, it's important to note that when you do things correctly and people have a positive stay and walls aren't falling down, or electricity, they don't plug something in and it goes pop and then nothing works. Like when everything is built correctly, you get positive reviews, you get money, and people come back and people leave, leave good reviews, and word of mouth is good. So you get repeat business and you can build your business up. And that's really what it's all about. If you live in a place that does not have codes or municipal enforcements or anything like that, you live in the country, I still encourage you to look up the safe way to build things. And that could just mean, you're putting your studs together with nails that actually hold them instead of maybe like trim nails. You still insulate things. You still run electricity through studs so that it's protected. I can go on and on, but you get the point. Just kind of build things in a way that it's going to last a long time. It's going to be quality. It's going to be safe. That's enough for that one. Let's go to number 2. All right, back to the alcohol. So we talked about stills and not just stilling something out and hoping that it's going to be safe and hoping there's no methanol in it to blind people. There's ways to do it the right way, and that could mean a couple of different things. In some states, maybe in your state, they allow you to still out alcohol, and that's okay. Learn how to do it the right way. Learn to pour your heads off so that you're not making methanol for people, or acetone, or some of those other nasty volatiles that you can get in your in your drink. You might even be able to get the necessary permitting to be able to sell it. You just have to check with your state laws, and I don't exactly know what, but because I haven't gone through that process, but it's a possibility. So kind of check into that if you're interested in doing that. That would be the best way to make good money at it, because you could build your business up. You might even get bought out by somebody, who knows? But having a distillery, you'll be making some pretty good cash, if you do it right. If you wanted to do it a little bit less, what's the word I'm looking for? Like less intense of a way, like you're not going to make a ton of money, you could probably give it away as gifts in lieu of buying things for people. So then that becomes your gift that you give at Christmas time to your dad or something like that, So it's more of like a money saver than a money bringer inner, if you will, like money maker. But that's a possibility too. But I think just outright selling without a permit might get you in a little trouble, so I wouldn't do that. We don't condone that on this channel because we're trying to make you money, and we're trying to go for the betterment of everybody here. We do not want your profits to be upside down. That would be kind of counterintuitive for this video. All right, back to the medicine/herb cabinet. We talked about not mixing meds up, into your own things, but there are herbs that are what's called generally regarded as safe. That is a terminology that I don't remember who it is. A government agency of some sort uses. I can't remember. Probably should have done the research before I did the video, but oh well. Generally regarded as safe. So things like mint, basil, echinacea, chamomile, stuff that you've heard of, and most people can tolerate it. You can do that. You can take herbs that you think smell good, taste good, are good combinations. Dry your fruit out. You can have dried apples with echinacea. I don't know, just experiment. And then make up your own little concoctions. You can do that and sell those as like little, I would say sachets, but this is kind of a masculine channel and we don't say sachets. Just kidding. But, just make up your own concoction. Put them in a mason jar. There you go. We've got like soursop. That's green tea mixed with soursop fruit. We've got, what else do we have up here? Throat coat. This is slippery elm mixed with licorice root. So there's just unlimited combinations. So you could do that. It's not mixing meds together. You're not telling people that you're curing a sickness, because that would be against FDA. But you could sure say, hey, this coats your throat in the wintertime, and here's my special little herbal mix. That would be totally fine. All right, the next one we talked about was taxes. Financial services of any type, it's going to require some education. So to do that one correctly, you're going to need, if you're not going to go to school, you're going to need some kind of education. So maybe you get with a tax professional and start learning how to do some of it. You could take courses online. You got to have some kind of schooling for that. I'm not sure what else to say about taxes. I know that if you get the education and you can work with people's money and you can make them money, you're good at it, it can be lucrative. So not really a side hustle. Or if you're going to make it a side hustle, it's got to be a side hustle that you got some pretty formal education from, I think. That's all I know. I'm not an expert at that one either. But again, these are all just things that I thought of off the top of my head. So I do a little research on them and then that's it. All right, next one. All right, so we talked about firewood. Driving down the street, you see someone's dead tree out front. You can't just go and take it down. But what you could do is ask them if you could take it down. Knock on doors. Be entrepreneurial about it. Say, hey, most people would charge you $300 to take this tree down. I'll do it for $50. I could have it down for you tomorrow or something. And then you take it down, you chop it up nicely into bundles, sell it as firewood to people. So not only do you make money on it once, you make money on it again. That would be a way that you could turn that negative into a positive, making money chopping firewood down. Negative into positive is a pit bull saying. Another pit bull saying is ask for advice, get money twice. So I'm not going to tell you if I'm a fan of pit bull or not, but I think you can guess. All right, back in the refrigerator. Didn't open up this door here. We talked about not just being able to sell your leftovers. It's kind of weird, but there's things that you could do if you really like working with food. The first thing that I thought of was bake sale, like this real basic stuff, but just bake things. If you could just bake things, sell them, you're going to make a little bit of cash. The bigger idea is think about people who are really busy, or people who are dieters, people who are weightlifters, anybody else, even like diabetics, people who need special dietary requirements. If you have a clean kitchen, you can probably pass a few basic health department regulations. You can start food prepping for people. Go out and buy 100-pack of Tupperware, like the disposable-ish ones. Food prep. Figure out what a certain client needs. Make it, freeze it, according to however the health department tells you to, and take it to their house for them in a cooler. Be kind of professional about it. That would be an awesome way to make some money. Then you're not just selling things. And a food truck is kind of a cool idea too if you have the time. But that's more of a big startup. So, but food prepping, you might have to go buy a bunch of Ziploc freezer things or whatever, but ultimately that'd be a cool idea. All right, we're back out at the car now. So in the last video, we talked about handle flippers and car thieves, not good to steal. So you're probably thinking, Steve-O, how are you gonna flip this to a positive? Well, those car thieves and flippers, they come out at nighttime, right? So what can you do at night that's completely okay? Think about the night before trash day. People put a bunch of stuff at the curb. I got a fire pit from the curb once. Somebody was throwing it away. I literally needed one for the back, and there was one at the curb, so I was like, I'll just grab it. If you just figure out in your community when the trash nights are, you can drive around, grab freebie stuff off the curb, then it's not stealing. Legally, it's not stealing because it's discarded, it's meant for the trash. And you can fix it, refurbish it, polish it up, whatever, sell it. Even if you're selling it for, a fire pit, they're between $35 and $100 new. You could probably polish it up and sell it for $10. Someone would buy it. I would have. So yeah, there's that. That'd be my advice. If you are somehow tempted to steal, instead just get free stuff that's discarded. The next thing is, we talked about labor, how you shouldn't promise that you're going to do something and then not do it. Like the like contractor people, where they say, hey, I'm going to build a deck for you, so give me half the money now, and then the person never hears from them again. But if you do like labor and you actually want to work, watch YouTube, learn a skill, practice it a little bit, and then start doing work for people. It might be basic stuff at first, and then as you refine your skills, it could be a little bit more involved. So ways to do that would be joining a handyman group on Facebook, or whatever other social networking that you have. Handyman groups exist, and people are always looking for others to do tasks for them. I think there's something called TaskRabbit. There's a bunch of like apps and websites out there. I don't know much about them, but those are all good examples of ways that some people are needing work done. Others are on there saying, I can do the work. Let's talk. So that'd be a good way to do that. And the final one is selling drugs. Obviously that's just blatantly wrong. You can't do it. Selling illegal drugs. Besides going to pharmacy school, you could become a pharmacy technician. Doesn't take a whole lot of training. You have to take a test. You have to study for a test. That's really it. You could, in some states where cannabis is becoming legal, you can get the card or the permit, whatever is necessary to sell cannabis, and you could do that in a legal way. You could also work at a health food store. If you like learning about what certain substances do to the body, learn about herbs and work at a health food store, or when you get good enough, import some of your own herbs, rebrand them. You don't have to worry about interactions at that point. You're just rebranding and sell them on your own. People will respect you. You become an expert at that, and they'll seek you out. So those are my 9 things, ways to make money. I hope it helps. Recession might be coming. That's what I hear. So trying to help folks out. Look me up on Etsy, Steve-O's Shelf. I'll put a link in the description. Something new I started, so more on that later. But that is all. Get back to work. We'll see you in the next one.